Hello everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be reviewing another figure from our One Piece collection, more specifically Bandai's Anime Heroes. Let's take a look at the box to start off with. Set the figure back there. Alright, we are reviewing Bandai's One Piece Anime Heroes, Portgas D. Ace. We got a cool picture of him on the front, another picture of him on the side. And then some more figures from the collection, which we will be looking for. And then the logo on the side. All right. So yes, we are reviewing Portgas D. Ace, a popular character and one of my favorites. So let's get into measuring. So we'll start with centimeters, going from the bottom of his foot to the top of his head. It's about 17.5 centimeters, so he's definitely taller than other figures. And then in inches, we've got just about 7 inches. So yeah, he's definitely taller, but that's all right. All right. For size comparison, here he is next to Luffy. I am definitely happy with that size difference. Ace is older, he's taller, he's definitely lankier than Luffy, which is surprising because of Luffy's power. All right, let's move on to articulation. So, starting with the head, we've got a nice ball joint here. He can go forward a little bit, but the hair prevents him from, looking straight up. That's okay, it gives him a serious look. All right, and then moving on to shoulders. So we've got all the way around, and then a drop joint, and then we got a good bicep swivel. And then moving on to elbow, got a nice double jointed elbow there, and a full ball joint in the wrist. All right, straighten him out there. All right, moving on to waist, because as you can see, he doesn't have a torso joint. So you can lean back a little bit, but you do have a bit of a gap. It's not that noticeable, but it's definitely still there. Again, he can lean forward, but you get a sizable gap in the back. So not a whole lot of movement that way. Moving on to hips, we've got drop down joint, pretty obvious there, and then decent thigh swivel. It moves a little bit, but not much. The knees, not a whole lot. It's workable, but there's not a lot, and that's just because of the shorts. And then the ankles. Those look good. All right. So let's move on to accessories. So for starters, we've got the iconic hat. And I did try, it doesn't really sit on his head. It doesn't stay. So it's more of just hanging around his neck. But that's all right, because this is another iconic look for him as well. He does have a blade at his side. It is attached to him with a joint, so it can move, but this is not coming out of the sheath. All right. And then he comes with interchange of hands. So for starters, we've got the gun fingers on one hand. We've got a clenched fist in the other. And then he comes with another gun hand and a closed fist. And then 2 grabbing hands, which is interesting because he doesn't have anything to grab onto. But that's all right. All right. Moving on to aesthetic. So I will say, I've said it before and I will say it again. I love the detail that they put into these figures. For starters, I don't know if you can see it with the camera, they gave him his freckles. That's not a detail that everyone notices, and I absolutely love them for this. And then his tattoo on his shoulder. You can see that you've got the misspelling tattoo. And, oh, silly me, I forgot in our, when we were talking about articulation, bicep swivel. It's there, works great. All right, that's my bad, guys. All right, and then you have his elbow pad, then you have his compass on his wrist, you have the iconic belt with his letter on it, his baggy shorts, his little pouch, and his very big, bulky shoes. All right, and I would also like to point out on the hat you have the smiley face and the frowny face. And then on his back, you have the Whitebeard crew member symbol. This helps show that he's part of the Whitebeard Pirates, and Whitebeard is another favorite character of mine, but I digress. All right. You can notice in the shorts that while they are just simple plain shorts, I love that they have the wrinkles for the details in them. And yeah, that's about it. He doesn't have much aesthetic to talk about. I mean, it's Ace. He's a muscular guy. I will say I was a little disappointed that they didn't have anything fire-based with him for any accessories. If you would have seen the Sanji review that I did, it was they gave him a foot that was on fire, and that was interesting. It is one of his more popular moves, but it's not everything that Sanji does. With Ace, his nickname is Fire Fist Ace. I would have liked it if they would have had something on fire, even if it was just one of his guns, finger hands with like a little bit of fire on them. That would have been better. However, this guy looks so cool. The detail they have this is definitely one of my favorite figures. So I would highly recommend collecting him. And until next time, see y'all soon.